Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another Optc video, and in today's video, TreasureMap has returned, and in today's video, we are going to be doing our playthrough against TreasureMap Shiryu. So before we begin, we want to make sure that we are in the New World League. As always, if you guys can be in the New World, pick the New World. The rewards are just so much better along the map, and it's just much more worth your time to actually go into the New World than it is to try and rank and stuff like the Grand Line and stuff like that. But as I mentioned, we are going to test the teams that we did have in our prep video for TreasureMap Shiryu that came out probably like 10 hours ago, if I am correct. So we're going to probably get the ambush first, and then we're going to move on to the mini bosses. And the name of the game here is trying to speed farm these fights as quickly as possible, so that way we can actually get to the Blackbeard, intrusion, as well as the final stage against Shiryu to maximize our point gains. The mini bosses, they don't really give you that many points. It's not really worth your time to sort of build the high point based teams, but if you are looking at doing TreasureMap completely free to play, sometimes it is in your best interest to just play the game for a little bit longer, guarantee yourself a few more points, and actually get the rewards that way. Now, unfortunately, all of the enemies are where the stamina is, and I stereotypically like to go towards the stamina, so then that way I don't actually use too many gems when it comes to TreasureMap. But for the sake of the video, just to make things a little bit easier, I am going to have to skip all that, and we will get to the final stage so we can just do the mini bosses back to back to back. So Blackbeard should hit us up now. Beautiful. And for Blackbeard, obviously we are using Moria as our recommended character, and then we've got the 3 boosters here as well. Now, we are going to be using a friend Van Augur. There are a couple of obviously replacements that you guys can use, but I would highly recommend bringing a driven powerhouse based team to this particular fight, as driven and powerhouse units get their cooldowns by 10 turns at the start of the fight. Very, very important you guys get those cooldowns, as it is only a 3-stage fight. If you do have the support of like Mr. 3 and Miss Golden Week, I think it is, that is a really, really good option as well, just to give yourself a little bit more cooldowns if you guys are struggling there. But because we are running a full boosted team, we don't even have to worry about that. On stage 2, we come up against Mr. Schwan Wolf. He's like my favorite character in the entire world. Mr. Schwan. He has a good barrier for good hits, as well as attack down. So one of the new TreasureMap rare recruits actually removes attack down, and that would be our boy Lafitte. Lafitte's going to give us a color affinity buff as well, and because we don't need both Van Augur specials, we're literally just going to use a Van Augur special just because. With that, we should be able to take out this particular stage. Unfortunately, we don't have many Psy units. Plus, there's a barrier, which is super annoying. Like, super annoying. But, let's just, Blackbeard, do you have barrier pen? I can't remember. You know what? Let's just go for it. It's still early days, so, like, I don't imagine Mr. Schwan has a lot of HP, but the fact he has a good barrier is actually really annoying. I'm actually really not a fan of that. But it is what it is. I imagine you could easily replace Blackbeard with someone that can remove those barriers. But Blackbeard's he's just nice because he's a 1.5 times booster. Moving on to the Blackbeard fight now, we get 5 turns of paralysis. He has 4 turns of resilience, and he actually turns into a Psy unit, as well as giving us a full board of unfavorable slots. So we've got Moria for our orb boost here, which is great, as well as giving us a full board of orbs. We can then use our Van Augur special to actually lock those orbs, as well as remove the paralysis. He sets the defense to 0 and gives us a conditional buff as well. We've got an attack boost with our Doc Q as well, which is super nice, as well as giving ourselves a chain buff with the Blackbeard special. Now, this team should work for a very long time. I don't imagine it's going to have any issues whatsoever. When Blackbeard dies, though, he does 3,000 fixed damage, I'm pretty sure, on death. But with the threshold that Moria can give us, and the damage reduction we have from, I think, Doc Q, it's just going to work very nicely. So that was the the almost full boosted point team. It's gonna hopefully let me rank very high in TreasureMap. But I'm going to fast forward now until the final stages, where we do take on the mini bosses. Alright, so we're at the mini bosses now, and the first mini boss we come up against is actually Jesus Burgess. Now, against the first mini boss when it comes to TreasureMap, just running Buggy is actually really nice, mainly because you can abuse the system of Kizuna Kid. With Kizuna Kid, you can actually get through the first 4 stages super easily. And then with TreasureMap Enel, who's usually a 1... Oh, we got the Doc Q interrupt. Okay, that's cool. That means we're getting a crystal chest, which is great for Buggy. This is the reason why you want to run Buggy, because if you actually do get that interrupt, you're going to be guaranteed to get a crystal chest, which is gonna have a chance of duping that. We can just use the kid special on turn 1 or turn 2 if you do get lucky like I just did, and then that way you can just sort of single tap and just let kid's end of turn damage do all the heavy lifting for us. So it just works really, really nicely. With Enel on the team in the early stages, you can just use Enel to just kill the final boss, and then you can just fill the rest of the team with TreasureMap point boosters if you really want to. Or you can fill them with other stuff to actually get around this particular piece of content. On the final stage, we come up against Jesus Burgess, who gives us Despair, Bind, and Paralysis by 3 turns. But with Sockets, you can literally just get rid of all of that. You don't have to worry about the Paralysis because we're not even attacking anyway. We got 2 Crystal Chests. Surely my boy Buggy is going to be duping these drops. Come on, Buggy. Bring it home. Come on, Buggy. A Fear Tablet. I would love you to dupe that Fear Tablet, mate. Of course. That's sometimes how it goes. But look, duping limit break materials is always a fun time. With limit break expansions being as expensive as they are, you definitely want to try and dupe those drops. Moving on to Van Augur now. Van Augur, we are using Moria as our captain. Ideally, you just want to bring the 3 recommended characters. That way you can just easily take this fight down. But Mr. What's his name? Vasco Shot is actually another really, really good option for the final stage, as he can actually remove special bind. The special bind is only on your captains though, so if you guys have something like Versakainu, you can easily use Versakainu on the final stage, and then just bring a friend Blackbeard, as Blackbeard is obviously the character that is built for that particular fight. With our team for this fight though, we are using double Moria. He's a 1.5 times treasure map booster, so bringing 2 of them is going to give us a lot of points, and then by utilizing the 3 recommended characters, we can get around all those nasty defects, and then we can just use our boy Zoro here, and Zoro is actually just going to stage wipe. Now, unfortunately for me, I don't think I have... Or actually, I haven't changed my ship as well. I'm always a culprit of doing stuff like that, not changing my ship. And the big downside to not changing my ship is not actually getting the buffs that the ships can actually give us. So, bit of a blunder on my behalf. But unfortunately, because we've just moved so damn quickly here, we don't have even close to our specials being ready. Like, not even a little bit close. So, make sure to max your Swan Wolf. Obviously, that's going to help a lot. And obviously, getting your... Vasco Shot as well as your Jesus Burgess max as well is going to help you guys out significantly. But with myself, I'm just a bit of a spoon sometimes, and I just do dumb stuff like this, and now I don't even think we're going to be able to kill Van Augur. Unlucky Stump. What are you doing, mate? I don't think Van Augur does anything besides giving us attack down. He should do something. Don't kill me though. That would be great. Just a full board of block orbs again. That's absolutely fine because we should be able to get the kill here. Oh, I should have used Vasco Shot special, and then I could have used Jesus Burgess, and we would have definitely won, but your boy's an absolute muppet. So there you guys go. So if you guys are like me and you actually have your free-to-play characters finished, you will be able to do this a little bit quicker. Ideally bring a ship that gives you cooldowns as well, something like the Hose ship, or even something like the Nostro Castello. I'll definitely be maxing those units, but as you can see, Jesus Burgess would get around the block orbs, Swan Wolf gets around the chain lock, and then Vasco Shot gets around the special blind. But it's still early days, and lucky for us, we can actually get around that. Moving on to the Avalo Pizarro. I can't say the guy's name. I give it a red hot crack though, right? For this particular fight, we're using double Zoro, and the idea of this particular team is to literally use the super typings of Zoro and the specials of Zoro to get cooldowns as well as just stage wipe. The 2 recommended characters are the free-to-play Marco and Luffy and Ace, and because Luffy and Ace is boosted, we can because they're... Wait, what am I trying to say? Because they trigger Zoro super typing, we can just basically blitz through these stages like this. As long as you have like 1 Zoro limit break keyed, you should be fine. So just try and bring a friend that is keyed if you can, so that way you can literally just blitz through these particular stages. As Zoro gives 2 turns of cooldowns, then your other Zoro is going to give 2 turns of cooldowns, and that'll actually just guarantee you those cooldowns on the final stage. As for Croc and Sabo, like, you can literally just replace them with any other unit. They are literally just here because they're 1.35 times boosters. Literally no other reason. Now, you do get 5 turns of Gloom, you do get 5 turns of Bind, and 5 turns of Burn on the final stage. With the support of Rayleigh, we can actually just get around all of that. Marco removes the Burn, Marco gives us an Orb buff, Luffy and Ace give us an attack buff as well. But if you guys are missing stuff like this Zoro, and you are missing something like the support Rayleigh, you can easily just use Luffy and Ace as your captain, and then just bring a friend Zoro. Like, that'll work absolutely fine, as Luffy and Ace actually remove Bind and Despair. So that was the Alvaro fight, or Pizarro, I don't know. Avalo Pizarro, I guess that's how you say it. But My Japanese is not good. It doesn't even sound Japanese to me. Alright, so moving on to the final mini-boss, we come up against Mr. Vasco Shot, and for Vasco Shot, the recommended characters are Nami and the Dofi. Now, if you guys are missing Onami, the Onami 6+, you can easily just run the free-to-play Dofi as your captain with a friend Dofi, and then build a driven-based team. As for our team, we are using Magellan because he's a 1.5 times booster, but ideally, you just really want to bring Nami for this particular fight, as Nami can set the defense to 0, as well as give us a conditional boost. The enemy does have the, what's it called, where you can't set the defense. It has the immunity to defense up, but the beautiful thing about this particular fight is that with Nami, we're not actually taking damage, as we are going to get max HP for the whole fight. And then that way we can actually set the defense to 0, get around that annoying defect. With the switchability of Smoothie and Oven, you can basically just switch with them in single tap. Another options for this particular fight is literally just to hit the auto button and just let it do it for you, but I'm a bit lazy, to be honest, and I always forget to like check back when it comes to autoing stuff, so I just find it a little bit easier to just use the switch mechanics. With Vasco Shot on the final stage, he does have like a 2 million barrier, and he has 10 turns of defense up, so this is where we can literally just use the Nami special, set the defense to 0, get around all that nasty stuff. We get a color affinity buff, which is really, really nice to our quick units. And what we can actually do here is we can actually abuse Moria by getting the 2.5 times attack boost, as we can poison the enemy. You can also do some cheeky shenanigans with Kaido. Kaido can give you the double damage. He's going to remove that annoying barrier as well. But as you guys will see here with Dofi, Dofi can actually remove 5 turns of defense up. With Dofi removing 5 turns of defense up, it works really, really nicely as, well, that was annoying, as you can basically bring another Dofi as your friend captain if you're looking for a more free-to-play option, and then that way you can just remove the 10 turns of defense up. But honestly, just bring Onami. If you can bring a friend Onami, you are going to be in good stead, and that stage will be pretty easy. So that was Vasco Shot. Let's move on to the final fight of the video now, where we come up against the big dog, Mr. Shiryu. Alright, so against Shiryu, we are utilizing our Blackbeard as leader. He's the recommended character as well as the boosted units. But like I was saying, you can easily just bring a friend Blackbeard and use something like Versa Kainu. They are very interchangeable, as they are both driven powerhouse leaders. Unfortunately for me, I don't have Katarina Devon. She's the only rare recruit that I'm actually missing. But Katarina Devon is obviously a much better option than something like the Reiju, mainly because she's a 1.35 times booster. The free-to-play Reiju will definitely work, as she can remove 5 turns of defense up as well. The TreasureMap Reiju, that is. So if you guys do have her, you could easily slot her on the team, because she's a powerhouse unit, which is super, super nice. To get around stuff like the damage reduction... Sorry, not the damage reduction. To get around stuff like, I'm pretty sure there is paralysis on this particular fight. You can use, like, the Luffy that came out with the Akainu batch. Even though he's not boosted under Akainu, it really doesn't matter too much. Once we come up against Katarina Devon, she's going to take away all of our orbs and turn them into block orbs, and she has 3 turns of threshold. So to get around the threshold, I think, so we can remove the threshold with Doc Q. And Doc Q also rotates those block orbs, which is really, really nice. Once we've done that, we can basically just attack. Now, another way to get around the threshold is with the support of ErKa on your, what's his name? On Versa Kainu, if you are taking that route. That's definitely another option for you guys, as the support can remove 2 turns of threshold, and then you can sort of just stall out the first turn on Katarina. It shouldn't be that tricky. But once we move into the final stage, we come up against Shiryu. Now against Shiryu, he actually turns into a Psy unit. He special binds and binds our captains, as well as putting up 5 turns of damage reduction. So this is where Rage is great. She can remove the damage reduction and give us a conditional boost against poisoned enemies. We can remove the bind with the Lafitte. Now, if you don't have this Lafitte, you can use the support Lafitte on Blackbeard if you are using this particular team. We can set the defense to 0, get a conditional boost with our Van Augur, but we've already got the conditional boost against the, what's it called? For poison enemies, but still setting the defense to 0, as well as giving us an attack boost because we are under Blackbeard, works really nicely. So there you guys go. That was the playthrough for my TreasureMap teams. All the teams worked really, really well, except for the I think it was the what's it called? the team that had Swan Wolf and stuff on it, just purely because I haven't maxed them. So that's going to wrap up today's video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to go down there and belt that like button for me. If you're new to the channel, hit the big red subscribe button too. But guys, wherever you are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, I thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Lates!